Hello everyone! Welcome to the next episode in my Admin Adventure series where I share real scenarios that administrators face. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a growing concern, a lack of building subs. Let's dive in. Here's a scenario. At your building, you need subs for staff daily. Frequently, there's not enough subs to actually cover all of the staff absences, and the district is experiencing a sub shortage. Staff, other leaders in the building, and yourself have been subbing where you can, but the consistent lack of subs is causing a major strain on the school. There's multiple growing tensions among staff. Many feel obligated to give up their planned period to help with sub coverage, but they're past their capacity and feel like they can't say no. Because staff get paid extra when they do sub coverage during their planned period, there are some periods where there's an abundance of staff members who want to sub. Unfortunately, some staff members feel that the same people are being selected for sub coverage and don't feel that it's being evenly distributed. This is just another tension that's being added to the mix, and overall, all of these things are contributing to a negative school culture. What would you do in this situation? So let's use the 3D school culture model to really break down this scenario. If you haven't seen my video about the 3D school culture model, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I highly recommend you check out that video first so you understand how I'm going to implement it. First, in the personal leadership pillars dimension, we need to take a look at our role as the administrator in the situation. In this case, it's really important to acknowledge that a lack of subs is actually a systemic district issue. As building administrators, we're in this weird limbo where we have to try and support staff and make change at the building level while also continually advocating for what is needed systemically at the district level. This is key to note because it means that the responsibility of finding a solution doesn't solely rely on you as the building administrator, and it really requires district support as well. So you can give yourself some grace as you are acknowledging this problem. Second, in the current state insights dimension, we really need to understand staff experiences. In this case, when staff feel obligated to go above and beyond their responsibilities and don't feel comfortable or feel like they can't say no, this is a slippery slope to a negative school culture, and it needs to be addressed. And finally, in the third dimension, effective systems and processes, it's really important to take a look at how are these systems inhibiting or enhancing the overall experience. In this case, the sub-selection process seems to be unbalanced and requires another look. So let's talk about some strategies. For the purposes of this video, I'm only going to share some strategies for building administrators that they can apply at the building level, since usually working with district can be a little bit more tricky and challenging. Of course, it's still important to advocate and work with district to create longer-term solutions, but there is an element of that that isn't within our control. What is in your control as a building administrator is to create a positive and welcoming culture that subs will want to be a part of. Usually subs can choose where they want to work at, so when you create a positive culture, it attracts subs to your building. Here's some strategies you can do at the building level to foster a positive culture for subs. The first one is to create a welcoming and brief onboarding package or even a meeting that helps subs acclimate to the school. Feel free to get as creative with this as you'd like. Not only should you include the basic logistical elements like the school map and emergency procedures, but you can also add some fun elements like spiritware that can really add a nice touch in bringing the sub into the school culture. The next idea is to intentionally visit subs throughout the day and offer support. It can really mean a lot to just do a simple check-in, and while you're at it, it would be great if you can also introduce the sub to other staff members in the building. Along those lines, really encourage staff members and subs to exchange contact information. When staff have a go-to sub, this can really have a positive impact across the board. Not only can staff feel more comfortable taking off their well-deserved time, but also subs start to build a relationship with the same group of students, and it improves their subbing experience as well. To take that even further, you as the administrator could also exchange contact information with subs and get to know their long-term educational goals. Since some subs are aspiring educators, you can then reach out to them with different opportunities like an upcoming long-term sub position, support with extracurriculars, or other volunteer opportunities as well. And finally, never underestimate the impact of a genuine thank you. the follow-up can be just as important as the initial welcome. To address the other elements in this scenario, it's important that the sub-selection process is revisited and fair. Consider implementing a tracker to better see what the distribution is and make sure that teachers are being selected evenly. Also in this case, I would highly recommend taking the time in a staff weekly newsletter or in a staff meeting to communicate to staff that it is okay to decline sub coverage. They do not need to feel obligated to do so. And as an extension of that, it may be worth exploring how can staff volunteer for coverage rather than being sought out and asked. Of course, there's the chance that staff will decline sub coverage and you'll still need it. In this case, this is where district really needs to come in and support you as the administrator. At the end of the day, it's really not the staff's responsibility and not even our own responsibility as administrators to have to continuously cover classrooms. Of course, as administrators, we're problem solvers, so we'll step in and do what needs to be done, but this is really something that district needs to step in and support building administrators and staff with. If you'd like some ideas on how to address this problem with district, I'd be happy to make a video about it. Of course, these strategies may not be feasible in every single situation, but I hope that it sparks some ideas of things that you can implement within your building. Again, the purpose of this series is really just to share some insight into common scenarios, looking at how we can break it down so that ultimately we can start to address the problem and create solutions that really work best for our context and our schools. If you want more ideas on how to apply any of these strategies specifically to your context, I'd be happy to help in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I hope you experienced the joy of doing something you love today.